Alright,
Let's do this.
This is real life, okay?
All right.
Is it though?
I like you. All right.
Welcome to the Hoo Ha Mongolian Grow.
Welcome to the Parenting Dare podcast. My name is Lori Dorneman.
And my name is Rachel Dorneman.
So today I am so excited to have my daughter here with me because in August I talked to Rachel in this 7th episode of the Parenting Dare podcast, and we just talked about what focuses. We talked about a lot of stuff actually.
We talked about my spiritual journey in that episode.
Yeah, it was good. So if you are into that, check out episode 7. But I asked you at that point if you would come back in 6 months and tell us a little bit about focus. So thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
I live to serve. It's a folks joke. Don't worry about it.
All right. So first of all, for those of the people listening that don't understand focus, they're like, what is that? Explain.
So Focus is the Fellowship of Catholic University Students, meaning there's a big group of us missionaries who are college graduates, and we give up 2 years of our lives to go out on college campuses and to evangelize, basically. And Focus throws us wherever they want on teams of missionaries on different campuses, and we work with our teammates and our team director, which is like our own individual boss, and work to evangelize on the college campus.
All right. So why did you want to do that? Like, you have a college degree, you can go out making money. Why did you want to do that?
Because in college, my senior year more, kind of junior year a little bit, not so much junior, more senior year, I realized what the Catholic faith was, and it was centered around a relationship with Jesus Christ. And I had went to Catholic school my whole life and missed it completely. I was like, how the heck did I miss the mark so bad? I come from a great family, great schooling, and I didn't know you could have a personal relationship with Jesus, and that's the core of Christianity. Mm-hmm. So I thought, okay, if I missed it, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only Catholic that's missed this. And so I knew that I had to share this with others, and then Focus fell into my lap, and I found out what it was, and here we are.
I love that so much. Eric is sucking coffee behind the camera. Do you hear him?
If you can hear it.
It's okay. I like coffee.
It's so funny. I think that's...
Pay no attention to
Well,
the
I think
man
it's-
behind the curtain.
I think it's interesting that you didn't receive something, instead of just getting it for yourself, you wanted to give it to others. I think that's very gospel-minded, it just...
Well, it was kind of a slow transition too, of when I found it and then was using it for myself and my own personal growth, and it wasn't like a certain moment or anything. It was kind of like this realization of, I can't keep this to myself anymore. Like, I am made to share this with others.
Okay, so where did they throw you?
Benedictine College, Ravenswool Sore.
All right, where's Benedictine College?
Benedictine is in Atchison, Kansas, which is like an hour north of Kansas City.
North of Kansas City, okay.
Were there any qualms with that? Can I ask that?
A qualm?
Qualm.
I don't know what that means.
Issues? Do you have any qualms about it?
Issues with Benedictine.
Did I have any issues
Were
with
you
Benedictine?
excited?
Initially. Did you talk about that last one? Do you remember?
I don't know.
I don't know.
In the last podcast.
But that's a good question. What were your emotions going into that?
So before training was in June of this year, and that's when you get placed in where you're going. Before that, I had asked not to be placed at Benedictine because...
That's interesting.
Yeah,
You asked someone in Focus, or
No,
you
I
asked
asked God.
Oh, you asked Jesus.
I
Okay.
said, you can place me anywhere you want, just don't place me at Benedictine. But just because I had all these outside thoughts
My
and
notions about it.
yeah, just what's the word I'm looking for?
Some preconceived kind of opinions, or
Basically just judgments about it that were not accurate, assumptions that I made about it.
so what you're saying is Jesus knows more than you.
Yeah, a little bit, something like that. The Almighty.
So you went to Benedictine, and just this is what intrigues me. Focus sends all these college graduates to this campus to evangelize the students. How? Like what? How do you? Hello. I mean, so just tell me like the first week. Was there orientation? I mean, like, give me the rundown.
So what happens? So at Benedictine, they have this thing called Rock Week, where all the freshmen move in a little bit earlier than the rest of the class, the rest of the student body, and it's kind of like a freshman orientation type thing. They have little small groups with their what they call rock leaders, which is upperclassmen student leaders for each little group. And my college is something similar to that, and so it was very easy to become acclimated with it. But the first couple weeks when we're there on campus is called Fall Outreach.
What is it?
Fall Outreach, and that's just every Focus campus does something called Fall Outreach. Basically, meet as many people as you can. You're going to be the face for most people learning about Focus for the first time. When you say I'm a Focus missionary, some people know what it is, some people have no idea.
So you weren't stealth like, oh, I might be a student.
No. Some people thought I was on the basketball team though, which is comical.
She's really tall.
Really tall. And yeah, anyway. So we do this thing called Fall Outreach. Basically, get as much contact with the student body as you can.
Are you inviting them to things?
So we do a lot of events that week.
Okay.
It's very busy and time-consuming, and it's really good, but it is jam-packed in those first weeks because someone makes a decision whether they want to stay at a college or leave a college in the first, this much time they're there.
Really?
Within the first couple of days, someone could probably decide if they want to stay for their freshman year.
So you kind of have an agenda.
Yeah, because at my college, when I was a freshman mentor, when freshmen were coming in, that was something that we were taught of. These freshmen don't really know if they like the school yet, but they're going to find that out in the first week. And you're going to be
you're the face of the
running
school,
of that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I knew that going into what I was doing now at Benedictine.
Awesome. All right, so you're meeting all these people, having all these events. Where are you sleeping?
So we have a house that's like all the female missionaries at Benedictine. We have a team of 10 full-time missionaries, 1 affiliate who's married to our team director, and then 3 December grads. So 6 of us women live in a house together, and it's not owned by Benedictine, it's not owned by Focus. We went out and just rent our own housing. You have to find your own housing like that. It's understandable. So we live a few blocks down. I don't know distance very well. I don't ever walk, it's too far, but some of my teammates walk.
So a mile or 2?
Maybe a mile, maybe.
Okay.
Not far. It's really not far.
Okay.
It's very convenient.
All right, so that first week, and then just tell me how the rest, this is what I'm interested in.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get that intimate relationship? What's the goal? Are you trying to get, I know you've used the word disciple, you're going to start discipling people. Is that a process that happens in a week, a month, 3 months? What's the goal here?
So basically with Focus, how we are investing in students, there's kind of 3 pillars, if you will, that we use to evangelize students. And it's an authentic friendship. You can't evangelize someone if you're not friends with them. They're not gonna let you in or anything. Authentic friendship, divine intimacy, which is a relationship with the Lord, and then spiritual multiplication. Spiritual multiplication,
okay.
Which means, are they able to go invest in others? Not like tomorrow, but do they have the mindset looking forward? Okay, I'm actually made to also go out and share and go into others like a disciple of Jesus did. Those are kind of the 3 pillars that we're looking for necessarily, that we're ingraining in the students that we're working with and we're investing in. And we, as Focus, our model of spiritual multiplication is through discipleship, which means investing in a few and able to reach the whole world, basically. So that means me investing in 2, 3, 4 girls, whatever it looks like.
That's all?
Yeah, just investing deeply in a few, because that's exactly what Jesus did. Weird how that works. Can you hear this in the background? What is it? Oh,
AC.
sounds like your apartment's about to take
34
off.
degrees outside. So, what is spiritual multiplication?
So spiritual multiplication is the method modeled by the master, in meaning that how did Jesus reach the whole world? Okay, he invested in the few, in his 12, and therefore we have the faith we have today. We have the church we have today through the way he discipled each and every one of them, and that he basically camped with them for 3 years and spent life with them, shared with them, taught them how to pray, how to love, how to, you name it. He walked with them to do that. And therefore, we have what we have today. So focus models exactly like that.
Okay.
And to where us as missionaries walk deeply with a few through what we call a discipleship relationship. So we're walking with them, we're teaching them how to pray, we're teaching them how to grow closer to God, while they're also teaching us the same thing. We're not greater than them, they're not greater than us. It's, you're walking together. It's not one in front of the other.
Cool.
You're walking together. And through that, we're teaching them how to do the exact same thing. And so they're able to go out as students on their campus and evangelize their classmates, basically.
Cool.
And so then you just have this waterfall effect, and it's going to change the whole world. So sign me up.
That's awesome. Authentic friendship, like, just give me a little bit more there, because I'm just thinking our society is so keyed in on like their phones. I mean, I go to any coffee shop, people are sitting next to each other on their phones. You know, it's just like, how do you overcome that? I mean, is that something that's a concern for Focus? I mean, do you work around that?
I don't know if I would say it's a concern. It's definitely there. We live in a generation that's consumed by technology, but you have to kind of break down people's walls, and it's uncomfortable sometimes, even if you have to say, hey, can you please put your phone away while I'm talking to you? Mm-hmm. People respect that, though. They're not gonna be like, no. Like, okay. But it's nice because us as missionaries, we have a team of missionaries.
Okay.
And when we're able to live authentic friendship with one another on a team and invite students into that,
Okay.
students can see it firsthand, which is like so important to have a good relationship with your team.
Okay.
Because your team is very different people. Focus does that on purpose, I'm sure of it.
Okay.
But it's so good because if we were all the same, we couldn't reach as many students as we can.
Diversity.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
diversity in that.
All right. I talked to a student who goes to Benedictine, and he said, one of Matt's friends, he just said, in 1 month, because he came back for fall break, and he goes, it's changed my life. And I'm like, why? And he said, because of the relationships. Because people just build into me. He goes, there's Focus, and there's other things on campus.
SPO is on campus as well.
And he goes, like, I'm learning how to be a Catholic man. He goes, it's incredible. And he goes, the reason why I asked you about the technology, he said, we're learning how to communicate, like, authentically.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow.
Because you can talk with someone and communicate, but then you can actually get to know somebody. And they're very different things. Because I have friends in college that I'm friends with them. I couldn't tell you anything deeper than their hair color, really.
So you, like, see them and love them and, like, that kind of thing? I mean, like, what is...
Yeah, you see them, you love them. You invite them to be human. I'm a varsity Catholic missionary, so I work a lot with athletes, and athletes are kind of just deemed as the party crowd, if you will, which anywhere you go, you're going to find a party scene. But athletes are more inclined to have that. I don't know what word I'm looking for. Athletes are just more prone to
that. So,
the party scene, I guess.
all right, so you're a varsity Catholic, so what does that mean?
So varsity Catholic means that I played collegiate sports. Doesn't necessarily have to mean that you played a collegiate sport to be a varsity Catholic missionary. You can, if you didn't,
Just look athletic.
you just look athletic, just deceive everybody. But I know that when Focus was first created and everything, they realized pretty quickly that the athletes were getting left behind because it kind of takes an athlete to know an athlete. The athlete schedule, the athlete mindset, all the struggles and hardships that they have are hard to understand if you didn't go through it yourself.
That makes sense.
And so they came up with this thing called Varsity Catholic, which they take former athletes and have their outreach be mostly to the athletes on campus.
Okay, so how does that happen? So you're like have every sport is year round?
So
or?
at Benedictine, we are very unique in the way that we have so many missionaries. We have 4 varsity Catholic missionaries at Benedictine.
That's like no one else has that, or what?
No, which is most teams. Raven's so sore. Most teams are 4 people.
Total?
Yeah.
How many do you have?
Oh, we have a lot more than 4.
Like 18, 12?
Basically 25.
Why are there so
How many?
there?
How many you have?
We have 10 full time. Yeah. So Benedictine is where Focus was started initially. And the amount of people who are Catholic who are involved, who basically like need us, Focus wouldn't work at Benedictine if you had 4 missionaries.
Oh, really?
It would not. It would.
So
That would be-
they're filling a need.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah.
Okay. So what sports do you do, or what? How does that work?
So what we kind of did is me and there's 2 girl missionaries and 2 guy missionaries that are varsity Catholic at Benedictine. And we just kind of split up the sports teams to make sure that our goal was that every team has a Bible study on it, whether that's led by us or by students, that we just wanted every team to have the opportunity to have that. And so I lead the basketball team Bible study.
All right, time out. You lead the basketball Bible study.
Yes.
You just showed up and said, "Hey, let's go to a Bible study."
Hey
girls.
So I knew one of them. I played ball with her in high school when she was a freshman. I was a senior.
Really?
And so I kind of had my in, if you will, on the team, kind of. But I got in touch with the coach and met with him. I was like, hey, can I come to a practice? Or like, can I come to a... they weren't in season yet, so they were just doing little workouts here and there. I said, can I come to one and practice with you guys? And he's like, yeah, that'd be awesome. So I showed up in my basketball shoes and my pants, not my pants, my shorts, hair up, like ready to go. And the girls were like, who the heck is this girl?
So walk on.
And I had just graduated in May, so I'm not like too far gone from that realm. And I played the whole practice with them, just like played pickup games with them. It was so fun. And they were like, oh, you're not awful. You like, we can respect you in that sense, which was incredible. And it was so fun to play with them. And at the end of that practice, I just shared like who I am, what I'm doing. And I said, I will be leading a Bible study with the team. The sign-up's over here.
Okay, so this it makes me want to cry. So you show up, you're balling with these girls, and then you like, oh, by the way, we're gonna do some Jesus things.
Basically.
Was it odd, awkward?
There's always a little bit of an awkwardness to it, or like kind of out of your comfort zone, but that's where anything good happens. It's out of your comfort zone.
Right.
And
Growth.
hashtag growth. And so all the girls signed up, and they all put the preferred day of the week and time that would work best for them.
No big deal. All of them signed up.
And I don't think they would have signed up if I didn't go and practice with them before. If I would have just shown up and said, here, my name's...
Whoever did the whole varsity Catholic thing, they're really smart.
Yeah.
Do you think Curtis Martin did that?
Thomas Words.
Who did?
Thomas Words.
Good job.
He's in charge of Varsity Catholic. Shout out Thomas Words. But if I wasn't able to like get in with them and show them that I am for real kind of thing, they were able to see, oh, she's just like we are. She's not like above us in any sense. And they were all very interested.
Okay,
in Bible
so
study.
you have a Bible study. They show up. Do they come?
Mhm.
And
Yeah, the first night, I think almost everyone came.
Okay. And I mean, are they know scripture?
Some do, some don't. It's cool because most of them are Catholic. There are a handful that aren't, but I was surprised that so many actually were Catholic. On the basketball team, it's usually, you don't get recruited because you're Catholic, you get recruited because you can play. But a lot of them were Catholic, and the ones that weren't were still very open to coming because they want to learn. They want to be in Bible study. They know that the Catholic Church does have some truth. And
Some? Just have some truth?
you know, all of it. But they didn't like shut out the Catholic faith in that way. And they were very open to coming. And so we started off really just I wanted to get to know the girls more. And I had everyone fill out note cards of what do you want to get out of Bible study? Do you have any questions you want to go over? Just kind of like gauge where to start with everything.
Cool. All right, so you were leading that Bible study, and then you have other Bible studies you're leading or you're part of, or how does that work?
So me and my teammate Dana, we're both girl varsity Catholic missionaries. We have what we call our leader study. It's kind of our study of all the girls in athletics, the ones who are more of the leaders on their teams. We wanted to have something for them to all come to. Some of them are leading the Bible study on their teams. We wanted them to have a chance to be poured into in that way. So those were the two Bible studies that I was like kind of in the forefront of leading. Our leader study was once a week, basketball was once a week. And then there's only so many nights of the week you can do things. Friday nights are kind of out because you're in college. I don't think anyone will get together on Friday night, and then weekends are kind of naturally out too. And so it doesn't leave a lot of wiggle room for other sports that we're doing. And so we split it up in the way that every team had something on it, at least. If it wasn't by us, it was already led by a student, which is awesome. And if it was led by a student, we would try to go ourselves, as long as it wasn't overlapping with our own studies we were leading.
Cool. All right, so you are really building into these teams. You're playing ball again. How do you fill up, like, spiritually? Like, what is focus? Do they have any strategies for that for you?
Yes. So as missionaries, we are expected to pray a holy hour every day, go to mass every day, and pray the rosary every day. And if literally anyone, if you throw them in front of Jesus for an hour a day for a year or two, just watch what will happen, because Jesus will transform their life. I am 100% sure of that. Whether they know it or not, it's happening. So on the weekends...
Okay, what she means by throw yourself in front of Jesus, can you explain to that a little bit more?
Go to adoration. Go sit in front of the tabernacle, sit in front of the Blessed Sacrament, and just let him love you.
So as Catholics, we believe in the true presence of Jesus Christ. We believe John 6 is real. 100%, we really basically give our life for that. Teaching that's why priests are priests, and it's not because they want to be pastors and pastoring the flock. It's really for the Eucharist, wouldn't you say? That's the source and summit of our faith. And so when she talks about the Eucharist adoration, but across America, there's so many adoration chapels in Wichita. Eric, how many are there, you think?
In Wichita?
Yeah.
Every single church has one, right?
No.
Okay, I lied. Not every church has one.
Most churches have them. Most churches, they're not perpetual, meaning it's 24/7, but most will have an adoration chapel.
So it's a little chapel.
A lot of Wichita ones are perpetual, though.
Yeah, a lot of them are. So
which is a blessing.
when you'll go, they'll have a code usually, so you have to know the code to get in.
Allegedly, that's not how a lot of dioceses are. They don't have
Perpetual.
adoration chapels.
So Wichita is awesome.
Kick butt.
But the thing is, I believe that's why we have so many vocations. We have such a strong Catholic presence in the nation because of the adoration chapels. And so any church you go to, you can find, like, they have a little side chapel and you can go adore Jesus, the presence of Jesus. So you have 1 hour a day in the presence of Jesus, and then a rosary, and then mass.
Yep.
And any fruits of that, like, I guess this is where I want to go. Where are you? Like, look back at this semester. You're building into other people, but you're my daughter. Like, how has this semester been for you?
this semester has been one of the most challenging / most fruitful / most impactful semesters of my entire life. In the way that I remember right when I got to Benedictine, I wasn't feeling at home with it. I wasn't at peace with it. It was the first day I moved in. Of course, I'm not going to feel like I'm at home. I just got there. And I went to adoration that night. And I was just like, Jesus, I don't feel at home here. Why'd you put me here? I don't have peace here. And he was like, kind of laughing at me. He's like, if I would have given you peace, you wouldn't be here right now sitting in front of me. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. And just kind of had like this sense of this semester is going to be hard, but I need you to always come back to me. And I need you to find me in all of it. And I was like, okay, let's go. And
Okay. So, you know, for you and your personal journey, you know, where you're at now, where you started, any highlights, you know, or was there anything that happened as far as, you know, I know that when, you know, your daddy and I went on the healing retreat, it was such a impactful, like life-changing event. I know you've gone on some retreats and you've taken people with you. Like, was there anything you would talk about in that area?
basically, I get so jacked about healing. I can talk about it probably the rest of my life, honestly. I went on a healing retreat. And I might, who knows. I went on a healing retreat at the JP2 Healing Center. They're based in Tallahassee and they do retreats all over the country. And we went on a 3-day 4-talk retreat about healing. And I kind of went in with, okay, I know I have like wounds. Everyone has wounds, like a buzzword kind of. Mm-hmm. I'm good though. I'm pretty solid. I'm really good at shoving things away and just like never addressing them again. Mm-hmm. I'm really good at shoving. And so I'm going to go, but I don't really think anything will happen. And then on the retreat, it was like a holy 2x4 to the face, if you will, of you are broken. Let me into that. Mm. And it was just kind of took a humbling of myself to realize I'm not as strong as I think I am. I'm not this like super strong person in that sense. Like I do have my own healing I have been avoiding because of the fear that he will never heal me.
That Jesus won't heal you.
That Jesus will never heal me. That's always been like a fear of mine. And it took me to like think through it of, okay, what's the worst that could happen if I let Jesus in? And what if he doesn't heal me? Okay, then I'm back at square one and I didn't lose or gain anything. So there's really not.
But you could gain a heck of a lot.
But I could gain a heck of a lot. So I was like, okay, my excuses aren't making sense anymore.
So my question is, and we're not going to go into the nitty gritty here of your personal story, but what intrigues me about you, Rachel, is your willingness to go there. Like, at first you were reluctant and then you're like, okay, bring it. That is not normal. Literally we are a society, we are a culture that numbs. We self-medicate and we avoid. So I want to know, like, what did Focus bring to you? Because this is a new kind of thing for you of like, yes, I have wounds. Yes, I want healing. Like, what did Focus, do you get what I'm asking? Like,
yeah.
Why are you going there? Because nobody else does.
Yeah, I didn't for a long time. I just remember very instances when people would ask me things and it would trigger something, or I would be talking to someone and I could tell something was triggered in them.
Okay.
Kind of like a human landmine, basically. Mm-hmm. And I just kind of quickly realized that I don't want my interior life to be like a mind game in this like playing field.
Like a mind game or M-I-N-E? Like a mind
Oh yeah, M-I-N-E. There you go. A minefield. Like I don't want to like tiptoe around my own interior.
Okay.
That's not living in freedom. That is being a slave to your own crap, basically.
Maturity right here.
We're working on it.
I mean, that's so cool. Like when you're talking to my husband, your dad and I, when we're listening to you talk really about your semester, I just thought, oh my gosh, we are finally becoming healed and we're in our 50s. And you have that in your early 20s. I'm like, it's beautiful.
It's crazy.
Beautiful. All right. And then anything else you want to say about in that realm, like what motivates you?
Basically in that realm, one of my friends was asking me, like, what was something you really grew in this semester or taken away from this semester? Or anything like that. And I just said a self-awareness about myself and knowing myself more so than I ever have before, in the way that if someone says something or does something and it makes me react a certain way, I go, okay, why did I react that way? What was that about? And then go into that. Or if someone says something that like jerks me in a way, it like hurts. I'm like, yeah, that's something in the past that no, you're kind of hitting that. Stay clear. It's like, no, let's actually go into that. Why is that there? Why has that been covered for so long?
Wow.
So show, like, my prayer is basically, Jesus, strip me. You know my heart better than I know my heart. You know where all of this is. And like, just search me and reveal what you want to reveal, but like walk with me through that. And I know he would. So it was him showing me, yeah, there it is. And I go, okay, let's go into that.
That's awesome.
And
Freeing?
it is the most freeing I've ever felt.
All right, so there's some people who are not quite sure what it means, like, because they're like, I'm functioning fine. Like, how did you go from like, I think I'm doing okay, to like, oh, all right, I'm ready to release this? Like,
So my spirits director is an incredible woman. She's a sister. And
Sister Serena,
she's incredible. And
Gail Dieter's real sister.
there you go. She knows my story better than anyone else does. And I was sharing with her a prayer that I had, and me and Jesus were on a boat. We were on a boat a lot this semester, but we were on this boat, and he's showing me this extravagant stuff of what he's doing with the sails, and he's using both his hands, and he's demonstrating how to do it. And then he tells me to do it. And I have one hand closed, and I'm trying to do it with one hand. And I can't. But I think I'm doing fine. And I was telling his sister, and it's like, I don't know what that was about. Like, I feel like I'm doing good. She was like, yeah, that's that thing that you don't want to go into from way back when. And I'm like, oh, okay.
So you're holding on to something.
Yeah, I was holding on to this that I didn't want to go into. And when I'm able to now go into that so deeply and find the root of these wounds, and the anatomy of a wound is so beautiful, so incredible, and able to love every part of myself, I can actually heal now. Instead of putting a Band-Aid over it. If you put a Band-Aid over an infected cut, it just gets real nasty.
So what's the end goal here? Like, what are you looking for?
I want to be a saint. Don't you want to be a saint?
Or I love that so much, and I really wanted you to say that, because we don't think like that. And what I appreciate about what Focus is bringing to my family through you is just an understanding of the eternal and an understanding of the unseen, and that you are able to walk this road. So it's not just evangelizing, it's really cleaning you out and pouring the Holy Spirit into you in a way that, so I'm just really excited to see. There's only one semester, girl.
Yeah, it's only one semester.
All right, so
Buckle up.
one kind of last question I have. I want you to talk to me about the presence of the nuns in your life, because every time I get a text from you, there's like, oh, there's like a little nun, and there's like you were surrounded by sisters, like, and that traditionally people are like, what is that about? So anything you have to say about the nuns in your life?
So Benedictine's a very special place in that some of our students are nuns. They are sisters.
The students?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So usually the scenario of how it goes, they were a student somewhere and they enter religious life and they didn't finish their degree because they left college to go enter into the convent. And so through their formation, they're now at Benedictine finishing their degree, but they are sisters. So I've been able to become good friends with some of them, which is so cool. And then we also have sisters from the National Dominicans that will come in and speak. We have sisters from, oh shoot, I need to remember this. Hold on.
Like how many like different representations of nuns are on your campus?
So there's the School Sisters, the School Sisters of Christ the King from the Lincoln area are going to school there. Some of them are. And then the Marian Sisters in Lincoln, some sisters are also going to Benedictine. So there's the two orders that go to school there,
Okay.
but we'll have other orders come in to talk on different things or to come do whatever the campus has them do. It's a Catholic campus, so you're gonna run into religious, which is
That's awesome.
incredible.
All right, and then how are you able to live? Like, you don't work.
I work every day.
You don't work for $1. I mean, like, how do you pay your rent?
So what we do as missionaries is when we say yes to being missionaries, we say that we will fundraise our salary, which is kind of scary at first, which means you have to go out and talk to people about the mission of Focus. You explain to them what you're doing on the college campus, and most people are very receptive to that because either they fell away in college, their kids are falling away in college, they found their way in college. Anything like that, people are very passionate about the college age because that's when a lot of change takes place. And you're able to share what you want to do on the college campus and people get behind that so beautifully, and Catholic or not, which is incredible because a lot of people who support me are not Catholic, but they know that what I'm doing is furthering the kingdom.
That's
And
awesome.
so they will support me for X amount a month and that goes towards my salary.
Cool.
And that was all of July fundraising, and that was such a blessing in itself. I wish everyone had to fundraise their salary at some point in their life.
A blessing as in like, it was super hard.
It was super hard, but it was so fulfilling because so many times a week, maybe multiple times a day, I'm explaining what I'm doing, and it like sets me on fire again, and I get reconvicted of why I'm doing what I'm doing.
All right, so Seek is a huge Catholic-focused, basically a conference coming up next week.
Yeah, next week.
Yay! And I want you to tell your mission partners what they have given to Seek. Like, who are they bringing? Anybody extra?
So for Seek, there are like some scholarships that us as missionaries are able to give from what you would kind of call an overflow. If we are funded, if we're looking to be funded this much and we get funded this much, that extra money we can give to students however we see fit. We can take students on retreats, take them to conferences, which is unlike any other thing I've ever met. Like, you have an own fund for students basically, which is so cool. And so me and my good friend, we went to the freshman dorm, and I knew I had money to take girls to Seek. And so we just kind of went around and started asking girls if they wanted to go to Seek. And this was the last, like right before finals. So we were kind of almost done. The price was going to jump up again for Seek. And we were walking around and we were able to get 7 girls to sign up to go to Seek. And a lot of them, we were able to help fund through my mission partners basically. And a lot of them were like, how are you able to do this? And I was like, I have a really cool job that allows me to do this. Awesome. And some girls were almost on the brink of tears. And I was like,
Because they had wanted to go?
they had wanted to go, but money was an issue. And I was like, I want you to go because I want to put you in the path of his love or whatever he wants to do with you. If I can put you in that path,
It's awesome.
that's all I want.
Oh, thank you, Rachel. This is great. I love the whole recap. Any other final thoughts?
Oh, final thoughts.
Eric, any other final questions? Or
Did you explain like what Seek is?
So Seek is
Because like, kind of changed my life and Mom's life and your life.
yeah, well, and I think
what happened in Seek 2015.
well, I already shared that story. I think it was in episode 1 or 2, wasn't it, Eric?
Well, for the people who aren't listening to the other episodes,
Well,
what
basically,
happened?
Eric calls me, and he was in college, and he was at Seek, which I didn't even know what Seek was or even where he was. He's like, "Mom, I'm in Nashville," and I'm like,
Why?
"Why are you in Nashville?" And he had broken his
His entire leg.
he broke himself, and so Russ and I, got into our SUV and traveled to Nashville to pick this kid up. Well, nothing could be done for his leg at that point, so he was just in a wheelchair. So we just hung out at Seek for a day and a half, and it really, probably 2 days. It really was life changing for your dad and I, because it was such a huge Catholic culture. I think there's about 15,000,
At Nashville, there was like
Not that many.
10 maybe?
8,000 maybe.
There are thousands of Catholic university students worshiping God.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
it's a conference where you go encounter Christ's love. And it's like, you go.
Can you
like-
hear this all? Is this? Are you?
Yeah,
speaking?
you can hear it decently at least. It's like, you learn about the faith at school and stuff. You encounter the
Yeah.
relationship at these conferences.
Yeah.
So like, they're so.
Encountering
Big.
Jesus. And so, how many students are going to be at this one? Let's see.
So
2019.
2019, Seek, we are over 16,500.
Holy cow.
Okay.
They're hoping to get 17,000. I haven't heard the number since I heard 1650.
All right.
16,500.
And that is why, because your daddy and I are going, and that's why we're bringing in a coffee machine for our room. Because we're competing with 17,000 people for Starbucks. Anyway, thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you for your time. I love your journey. It's been fun to just catch up with you. So we will do this again probably in the summer. See how your semester was. So,
I will be here.
all right. Thanks. Love you.
Love you. We out, boy.
Being cut.